Welcome to Miami Talks, the Spanglish edition. I'm your host, Nadia Asencio, and I'm very excited because today we're at Little Havana's Cultural Friday Street Festival. Now, this festival has been going on for quite some time, and it happens every last Friday of the month. South Floridians come down to Calle Ocho to enjoy Cuban culture, great music, and great times. We're going to be asking everyday Miamians how they feel about the lifting of the Cuban embargo, and also, who would make a better president, Marco Rubio or Pitbull? Let's find out. Here with
Nick
and
Bianca,
Bianca. And where are you guys from?
Sydney, Australia.
Very nice. Sydney, Australia. So how long have you been here?
A day.
Yeah, a day and a half.
A day and a half. So what do you think about Miami? Is this your first time here or have you been here before?
First time.
First time. And what do you think about Miami?
Yeah, we're loving it. Yeah, it's really cool. We love this little area here, this Little Havana. It's awesome.
It's amazing, yeah.
It's very cute. You like Cuban culture?
We very much do, yeah.
How about the food?
Oh, good, yeah.
And the mojitos?
Oh, even better.
Even better. Let me ask you this. What's your favorite part about Miami thus far?
What do you reckon?
This Little Havana,
Tonight, yeah. This area.
We love it. We love little Cuban culture. We love the little, the little old men doing this. Awesome.
So I guess you guys are moving to Miami soon.
Definitely, yeah.
I knew it.
To Miami.
Awesome. Y ahora estamos aquí con
Lourdes,
Lourdes. ¿Y de dónde tú eres, Lourdes?
yo vivo en Canadá
Wow, o sea que estás aquí de visita.
de visita.
¿Qué te parece Miami?
Bueno, acabo de empezar a visitarlo, pero es la segunda patria de los cubanos.
Es cierto, la segunda patria. ¿Y usted es?
Yo me llamo Luisa.
¿Y Luisa, tú eres de?
Bueno, yo soy de Cuba, yo nací en Cuba, pero vivo aquí en Miami.
Perfecto. ¿Y hace cuántos años que estás aquí?
46 nada más.
Y parece mentira porque tú tienes como 32 años, así que no sé de dónde esos 46 han salido. Ok, no sé de dónde. Bueno, le voy a hacer una preguntita. Usted sabe que el embargo, Obama está quitando el embargo de Cuba. ¿Cómo usted se siente como cubana? ¿Cómo se siente sobre eso?
Yo me siento muy bien. Cualquier cambio para el progreso, para mí, es maravilloso. Y esto es el progreso. No podemos vivir aferrados al pasado. Sí, ya lloramos, ya sufrimos, ya las viudas lloraron. Las viudas ya se casaron con otros hombres. No vamos a estar pensando en las viudas que le mataron los maridos, todas esas cosas. Hay que pensar en el futuro, no en el pasado. Ya lo pasado ya no interesa.
Muy cierto, muy cierto. Usted ha estado aquí 40 y pico de años. ¿Qué cambios usted ha visto en Miami que han sido muy impactantes para usted?
Bueno, cada día hay cambios, nos tenemos que renovar y tenemos que pensar en el futuro, y el futuro es Miami, todas las cosas buenas que vienen y todas las cosas que vienen buenas para Cuba. Si son buenas, ¿por qué vamos a pensar en el rencor, en lo que pasó? Ya eso pasó, todos cometemos errores, los presidentes, los gobiernos, las personas. Entonces hay que pensar en avanzar y en el futuro.
Muy cierto, muy cierto. Y a la Lourdes le voy a hacer la pregunta. ¿Ha ido a la playa o todavía no?
Bueno, todavía no.
Todavía no. Esta preguntita yo creo que es mejor después de la playa.
Sí.
Le voy a hacer esta pregunta entonces. ¿Qué le parece si pudiéramos tener un presidente, o Marco Rubio o Pitbull? Marco Rubio, que es senador de la Florida, que ahora se ha puesto para correr para la candidatura del 2016, el año que viene, o el Pitbull, que todo el mundo adora el Pitbull. ¿Qué dice usted? ¿Usted no sabe?
No tengo idea.
No
todavía.
sabe, Lourdes.
Estoy estudiando todavía el asunto. No pudiera haber un presidente y un vicepresidente. Podemos tener a los dos.
Perfecto. Entonces, o sea, Marco Rubio como presidente y Pitbull como vicepresidente.
Seguro que es.
Perfecto. Muchas gracias, señoritas. And we're back, and we're here with
Frank Alayon.
Frank. And what do you do, Frank?
I sell insurance.
Wonderful. And so you're Miamian?
Yes,
How long have you been here?
since 1972.
How do you feel about the Brickell area and the huge expansion into Little Havana? And some people are afraid that's going to change the culture of the neighborhood. How do you feel about that?
If it happens, it happens. You know, neighborhoods everywhere in the world change.
Now, Frank, let me ask you. President Obama has called to remove the embargo against Cuba, and he's also taking Cuba off the terrorist list. How do you feel about that?
I don't like that the lifting of the embargo is giving the impression that anything in Cuba has changed, because nothing in Cuba has changed. However, I do support the lifting of the embargo because it removes that excuse. The Cuban government can no longer use that excuse as to why their people are so far behind, why their people don't have freedom, and why their people can't do what everyone else in the Western Hemisphere and most of the rest of the world can do. So I'm for the lifting of the embargo, but I just don't want anyone to get the wrong impression that it's being lifted because Cuba has done anything to deserve it.
You've been here for quite some time, and there's a huge difference between Cubans that came here during the 60s and Cubans that are here now. Could you explain to our viewing public the difference?
They grew up in a totally different system than, for example, when my parents came over in 1960. They don't know anything better. They have only one source of information over there. So when they come over here, they do not know what the reality of the world is. They know what their one television and their one newspaper told them for the last 30, 40 years. They never knew anything different than that. So it's just, it is a different people than the people that came over in the early 60s. Yeah. To give you an example, when my mother came from Cuba, she said goodbye to people that she never saw again. Not only did she never see them again, there was no way to talk to them on the phone. A letter would most likely not get there, and if it got there at all, it got there a year later. So when they said goodbye, it was goodbye. Many people came, never spoke to their father again, never spoke to their mother again. The people that come over now, in 6 months, are going back and forth to the island. So the pain of separation that existed back then does not exist now. And I think people don't really appreciate the difference of the experience now compared to the experience back then. It was a lot more hardship back then for them than anything that happens now.
Do you think that that hardship has colored their politics when it comes to the embargo? Because a lot of older generation people...
Yeah, there's a little bit of, like my parents, the old school, there's a little bit of resentment that things are so easy now. But in general, things are easier for everybody. I mean, the economy is better now than it was 40, 50 years ago. Yeah, things are easier. But and sometimes I think they just feel like their struggle is not appreciated or forgotten. You know, they forget how things were back then. It was a lot different. It was a lot harder.
We had another woman here who gave us an interview. She said, she's an older generation, but she said, you know what, we have to let go of the past.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I agree with her.
Y ahora estamos aquí con...
Noel González.
Noel González. Y Noel...
Y Busto.
¿Y cuánto tiempo tú has estado aquí en Miami?
11 years.
11 years.
Pienso que hay que acabar con el bloqueo ese, con las situaciones y la mierda esa que existe. Porque
o sea, ¿usted está de acuerdo con el presidente Obama?
Perfectamente sí.
Entonces, ¿qué cambio usted cree que quitando el embargo va a ser en Cuba positivo?
Las relaciones humanas con respecto a Cuba, sacar el embargo, relaciones humanas, relaciones políticas, relaciones diplomáticas, y adelante con los tambores.
Y otra preguntita, si pudiéramos escoger el presidente de Cuba en un futuro, ¿fuera mejor un Marco Rubio o un Pitbull? ¿Qué usted parece?
A mí no me importa el sexo, ni el color.
Ninguno de los dos.
El que tenga para trabajar eso.
O sea, no importa, tal vez una mujer.
Igual, la mujer
Tal vez una mujer. ¿Por qué
la mujer tiene derecho a todo.
Precisamente.
Para mí la mujer es lo máximo. Nací de una mujer.
Precisamente. Muchas gracias, Noel, por su tiempo y muchas gracias por su entrevista. Y suerte. Y ahora estamos aquí con...
Fran Martínez.
Efraín, ¿y qué tú haces?
Yo trabajo para Miami-Dade County, el condado Vizcaya.
Ok, Vizcaya es very nice. Marco Rubio es un senador que ahora está corriendo para presidente. Si tú pudieras escoger el presidente, ¿preferirías Marco Rubio o Obama de nuevo?
Marco Rubio.
Marco Rubio, ya sabes, tienes aquí respaldado. Efraín te está respaldando.
Un cubano americano.
¿Pero por qué? ¿Qué tú crees de Marco Rubio?
Porque Marco Rubio es sangre nueva y va a hacer cambio y va a transformar todo lo que es la política en Estados Unidos.
And here we are with who I believe is Mr. Miami. So what's your name?
That's right, Marvin.
Marvin. What do you do, Marvin?
I'm a PR person, and digital journalist.
Okay, are you Miamian?
That's 100%.
100%. Wow, and you are?
Lucy.
Lucy, and what do you do, Lucy?
I'm a market research analyst.
So you guys have been here for how long?
I've been here for 8 years.
Okay, and you?
27 years.
27 years. So you guys are Miamians?
I am a
100%,
Miamian.
that's right.
Okay.
I wasn't raised here, but I'm definitely a Miamian.
Definitely a Miami because you love Miami.
I do love Miami.
Let me ask you this. Where'd you move here from?
From the Dominican Republic.
Okay.
Actually from New Jersey.
From New
It's the
Jersey.
forgotten past. Once I got to Miami, everything's forgotten.
Because Miami is amazing.
It is amazing.
Yes,
And
it
it's
is.
2
Yes, it
hours
is.
away from the Dominican Republic. I mean,
What else do you want?
The center of the universe.
The center. What happened to New York? I thought New York was the center of the universe.
when New York is going down, all the New Yorkans are
I'm
moving
from New
to
York.
Miami. I'm sorry,
New
but
York is
you're
nice.
here.
New York
You
is nice.
are
You
here.
can't beat Miami though.
I came from Hoboken,
You-
New Jersey, and I moved here. You're from New York, and you're in Miami. I mean, come
when
on.
everybody was
That's
freezing
your
in New York
answer.
a couple months ago.
Well, you know what? I'll be honest with you. This is the first winter where my mom was like, "Hey, how come you're not complaining that you're not in New York?" I was like, "Mom, shut it, okay?
Right.
You know why? Let's just keep it real."
You're in a bikini in the beach in December,
In flip flops.
and you can't do that in New York.
And my cousins are like, "Oh my God, it's so
That's right.
cold." And I'm like,
That's
"Totally,
right.
it's not. It's like 90." Okay.
Miami's growing. A lot of people are moving. A lot of people from other parts of the world, parts of the United States. We see a lot of building, a lot of growing, a lot of jobs coming to Miami. We see a lot of good things coming to Miami. Well, I see. I say we, but I mean just me.
My opinion, the culinary scene has grown big time. Last 5 years, you see a lot of restaurants opening, a lot of chefs coming here from all parts of the world. They win competitions. Next thing you know, they're opening a restaurant here. I mean, it's the culinary scene is really blowing up. The diversity is better than ever, I think, and it's great. It's a good time to be in Miami.
I feel like culturally, Miami's just growing so much, and it's just becoming more than a party town.
For example,
It's becoming like it's becoming another capital. I feel like it's becoming another capital of the world.
Absolutely. Let me ask you this, because Wynwood, you just mentioned Wynwood. Wynwood has become like a cultural hub, and thank goodness for it, because when we moved here from New York City 5 years ago, there was nothing.
Yeah, that's true.
And now there's Wynwood, but a lot of my friends are saying, you know what, they're artists and they're getting priced out of Wynwood. How do you feel about the fact that Miami doesn't have affordable housing for their artists and for what makes it culturally rich?
I actually have a solution for, not a solution, but something that's coming up. East Hialeah is growing up. They're bringing artists and affordable housing to those artists, which is up and coming. So Wynwood right now, yes, getting really expensive. The whole world wants to do something in Wynwood, wants to buy in Wynwood. East Hialeah is the next. Mark my words, East Hialeah, all the artists are going there.
Everybody listening, East Hialeah, invest. And now let me ask you this. If you could choose the next president of the United States, would you choose Marco Rubio or Pitbull? Go.
Pitbull.
Pitbull.
Dale. Dale.
100%.
That's gonna be his campaign slogan.
That's right.
Dale.
Absolutely.
That's it.
Pitbull, you have a future in Miami politics. Run with it. Run with it. These people are going to vote for you. They're your campaign men.
To the White House, baby.
I like that. I like that.
I like it a lot. Thanks for joining us today in Miami Talks in Little Havana, our Spanglish edition. I'm your host, Nadia Asencio, and we are the voice of Miami.